Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are stepping into something really special. We're going to decode a true masterclass, Robert Cialdini's legendary book, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. But listen, we aren't just going to rehash textbook theory today. No, we're tailoring this entire analysis specifically for the highly relationship-driven Indian market. If you've ever found yourself wondering how top-tier brands, incredibly clever marketers, and the absolute most successful entrepreneurs just effortlessly get you to nod along and hand over your trust, well, you're in the exact right place. We are going to completely unpack the hidden science of agreement.
So let's kick things off with a massive mystery. What actually drives us to agree? I mean, why do people say yes when they could just as easily say no? To find the answers to this, Robert Cialdini didn't just sit around in some comfortable ivory tower academic office. No, he went completely undercover. For years, he worked in the trenches. He took jobs as a car salesman, a fundraiser, a telemarketer. He literally put himself on the front lines of commerce to find the real, unfiltered, and deeply psychological answers to what makes human beings tick, what makes us drop our defenses, and ultimately, what compels us to comply.
And really, that brings us to the core concept here. Persuasion. It's defined as a specific set of psychological triggers that influence our brains and quite literally compel us to make a decision. Now, understanding this definition isn't just some fun exercise in human psychology. It is the absolute ultimate toolkit for entrepreneurs, startup founders, and marketers who need to effectively navigate trust, respect, and complex social norms. You see, once you finally understand these triggers, you understand the silent language of human decision-making. It's a total game changer.
Okay, here's our roadmap. Today, we're treating the psychology of persuasion like a high-security vault, and we'll walk through 5 steps. 1. The psychology of yes. 2. Reciprocation and consistency. 3. Social proof and liking. 4. Authority and scarcity. And 5. The ethical mandate. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The psychology of yes. Let's lay the groundwork and unlock these master keys.
Moving right into Section 2, Reciprocation and consistency. This is all about the profound power of obligation. All right, picture this. The Diwali mithai box. You know the unwritten rule, right? You simply cannot return it empty, even if it was a box of Son Papdi. This brilliantly illustrates the concept of kars, or deep-seated obligation. When a neighbor hands you a beautiful box of sweets for Diwali, basic human nature completely dictates that you must give something back. You feel this sudden, almost uncomfortable pull, this undeniable urge to reciprocate. And it's not just about being polite. It's actually a hardwired psychological trigger that demands our social ledger be balanced. So how exactly does this cultural reflex translate to the business world? It's really a simple 2-step dance. Give value up front, like a free sample, and then ask for the business. For the local street-side shopkeeper and the massive global brand alike, offering a free taste or a highly valuable, no-cost consultation triggers this exact same feeling of reciprocation. The vendor might smile and say, "Just test it, sir, no need to pay." But the second you taste it, bam, that psychological mithai box is firmly in your hands. You suddenly feel an internal pressure like you really should make a purchase just to return the favor. Building on that momentum, it's wild to watch how commitments scale up. First, maybe you trade your email for a free PDF. Then you buy a minor 99 rupee product. Finally, you're dropping money on a massive 10,000 rupee premium course. This is the famously effective foot-in-the-door technique, and it completely leverages our innate, undeniable desire for consistency. You see, as humans, we desperately want our actions to match. We hate looking inconsistent or hypocritical. Once we make a tiny commitment, our brain instantly starts to rationalize. Well, I'm interacting with this brand, so I must trust them. Taking that huge leap to a 10,000 rupee purchase later on feels totally natural because it aligns perfectly with our earlier, much smaller actions.
Let's look at Section 3, Social Proof and Liking. This is all about the crowd and the connection.
Imagine you're walking down a really busy street, right? And you notice a massive crowd of people all staring intently up at the sky. What's your immediate reaction? Come on, you look up too. That is social proof in action. When we don't know what to do, we just assume the crowd knows better. In business, if you can showcase a huge number of satisfied customers, thousands of 5-star reviews, or even just a long wrapping line outside a new restaurant, it instantly provides validation. Indian consumers in particular deeply trust word of mouth. When they see a crowd, their brain bypasses critical analysis and simply says, well, if everyone else is doing it, it has to be the right choice.
And that neatly brings us to liking. We say yes to people we like. It's simple, but why? The psychology really boils down to 3 things. Similarity, compliments, and physical attractiveness, which scientists actually call the halo effect. If someone shares our hometown, genuinely praises our efforts, or presents themselves professionally, our mental defenses instantly drop. We just automatically assign them positive traits. This is exactly why successful LIC insurance agents are absolute masters of this. They spend hours discovering shared backgrounds, sipping tea, and building a true familial bond. They make absolutely sure you like them as a friend long before they ever attempt to pitch an insurance policy.
Moving on to Section 4, Authority and Scarcity, Expertise and Urgency.
From the time we're little kids, we are deeply, deeply conditioned to obey authority figures. We call this the white coat and stethoscope effect. Think about it. We rarely argue with a doctor's prescription. We just assume they know best. In marketing, this psychological shortcut is incredibly potent. This is exactly why a dentist recommending a specific toothpaste in a commercial, or a startup founder proudly plastering their certifications and industry awards across their website commands immediate compliance. When you establish unquestioned authority in your niche, the customer's brain basically stops overanalyzing the details and simply follows the expert's lead.
And then we introduce the match that literally lights the fire: scarcity. Just reading the phrase, "offer valid till midnight only," creates a visceral, undeniable sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Whenever a resource is presented as limited in quantity or time, its perceived value absolutely skyrockets in our minds. This isn't just a cheap gimmick, folks. It is the exact psychological engine driving massive, frantic, immediate sales during huge retail events like Flipkart's Big Billion Days or Amazon's Great Indian Festival. When people believe they might lose a golden opportunity forever, the logical part of their brain shuts down and the urgent desire to acquire completely takes over.
Finally, Section 5, the ethical mandate. Because with great power...
Look, there is a very clear dividing line in how we use these tools. Short-term manipulation, inevitably, without fail, leads to lost trust. Ethical guidance, on the other hand, is the only real way to build a sustainable, long-term brand. Using these triggers for deception or trickery might win you a quick, sneaky sale today, sure, but it will completely destroy your brand's reputation tomorrow. You must use these principles ethically. The goal of persuasion is never to trick people. It is to genuinely guide them, to cut through the noise, and to help your customers make a decision that actually benefits them.
So, I leave you with this. Which master key will you use to ethically grow your brand today? Will you offer massive value upfront to trigger reciprocation, or will you showcase true authority? Possessing the power to influence is a profound responsibility. The psychology is proven, the vault is completely open, so what kind of architect of influence will you choose to be?